Hey guys, this is a practice video for the first etude out of the Bottesini method for double bass. So this is on the first page, and we're going to take a look at number 1. So this excerpt is set up into groups of 4 measures, and they're half notes. So I'm just going to talk through the fingering for each section, each phrase of 4 measures, and then we'll try it together a couple times. So the first section here is just half notes in first position. So we'll just follow the fingering that's in the piece. First of all, just really quick, here's a couple notes to tune to. A D. An A, and an E. So pause the video in there if you need to, but that's just to get us tuned up. So let's try the first 4 measures here, and we're going to try this twice. We're going to try it at a moderate tempo like it says. So it'll be half note, 1, 2, ready, play. And we're going nice and slow so that we can really get the shifts later in the piece. Let's try that again. The first phrase, ready, play. Make sure that that thumb is not sticking out over here on the side of the bass and that you have it behind. And we want to keep a nice straight wrist. So we don't want this happening when we get over to the E string. We want instead to make sure that we're coming around and keeping that wrist nice and straight. So pay attention to that while you're going through this. You can always pause between the excerpts to double check that. The next phrase that we have is also in first position. So this is the top line, the second half. 1, 2, ready, play. Let's do that one more time. Top line, second phrase. 1, 2, ready, play. The second line, first phrase, has a C natural, and that's going to be, if you have tapes, that'll be your third tape. So we're going into second position and playing that C with fourth finger. The rest of the notes are in first position. Let's try it. Second line, first phrase. 1, 2, ready, play. There's just that one little shift up to the C. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, here we go. Nice work. The second phrase on the second line is going to have the first note, a D on the G string, is third position, fourth finger. So we're in third position for one note. And then we'll play B and C, the next 2 notes, in second position. If you have tapes, that means that the fourth finger is going to be on your fourth tape, and then the 2 and 4 are going to be on your second and third tape. So you'll shift your hand down. After that, the rest of this section is in first position with the fingerings written in. So here we go. This is the second phrase, second line. 1, 2, ready, play. What we don't want to happen is for us to pop our wrist up like that. We want to make sure our body is adjusting for when we get to that C string and we're keeping that wrist straight. Let's try that again. So third position, second position, and then the rest in first. 1, 2, ready, play. So before we move on to the rest of the piece, let's try the top 2 lines one time with no stopping. Make sure you're thinking 3, 4 for the rest so that we don't jump those too fast. So here's the top 2 lines. 1, 2, ready, play. Ready, play. 3, 4. Second position, first. Third position, second, first. Good, so that's a pretty good start to that. If you want to pause the video and work on speeding that up a little bit, you can use it with a metronome, your choice, but our goal here really is to make sure our hand spacing is good and that we know exactly where the second and third position notes are on the bass. All right, so we're going to move ahead onto the third line. This first phrase has 3 positions. The first 2 notes, C and D, are going to be in third position, and that's going to be first finger, fourth finger, and if you have tapes, third and fourth tape. The next 3 notes will shift down where our first finger was for the C. Now we're putting fourth finger there. So we go into second position, 4 for C, 2 for B, 4 for C. And if you have tapes, that's third tape, second tape, third tape. After that, the E and the A are back first finger in first position. All right, so let's try that phrase. So third position for 2 notes, second position for 3 notes, first position for 2 notes. 1, 2, ready, play. Let's try that again and I'll call out the positions. Third position, 1, 2, ready, third. Second. First. Nice job. The third line, second phrase, is going to be first position for the first 5 notes, and the last 2 notes are C natural and F natural. So to play an F natural on this E string, we'll have to be down in first position for that first finger, and we're going to go ahead and do the note before that in half position as well for fourth finger. So here is this phrase, and I'll say half position before we get to that C and F. Here we go. Third line, second phrase. 1, 2, ready, play. Half position. 4, 1. Again, this is lots of E string. You might want to pause the video, record yourself, make sure you're not doing your wrist, but that you're coming around with your body and getting a nice smooth and open hand shape so that you get it in tune. So let's try that again. First 5 notes, first position, C and F, the last 2 notes, half position. 1, 2, ready, play. Half position, 4, 1. And you gotta really reach down with that first finger to make sure that F is in tune. That's a tricky note. All right, the fourth line is probably the trickiest in this piece. And we're going to start with just the first 2 measures. So we have open for D, 2 for E, because we're still in half position, and then 1 on F natural and 4 on G. So this is going from half position into second position. If you have tapes, it'd be open, second finger on the first tape, first finger between the first and second tape, and fourth finger on your third tape. So that's going to be open, second on your first tape, first finger between your first and second tape, and fourth finger on your third tape. Half position for 2 notes, second position for 2 notes. Let's try those 4 notes together 2 times. 1, 2, ready, play. Try it again. 1, 2, ready, play. If you want to double check that top note, that G, should match your open G. Those are the same notes, so make sure that that fourth finger is matching. All right, the next two measures, measure 3 and 4, we come back to first position for E and F, 1 and 2, and then we play G, A, going up the D string. So we'll go into third position, first finger and fourth finger on your third and fourth tapes. So it's 1 on the tape, 2 between the first and second tape, and then third position, 1 and 4 on the third and fourth tapes. Let's try measure 3 and 4 from the fourth line. 1, 2, ready, play. Again, if you want to check, if you haven't moved your hand, you can go back to that first finger. That should be on the third tape and it should match your open G. Since we're playing a G. Let's try that one more time. Measure 3 and 4 of the fourth line. Ready, play. Nice job. Remember to keep a check on your wrist and make sure that thumb's not sticking out over here if you haven't been doing that. At this point, you might be getting a little bit tired. If that's the case, do a couple shoulder rolls, forward, backwards, kind of shake out a little bit. Make sure you're not gripping tight on your bow, and stay really relaxed. Before we move on to the rest of line 4, let's put the first 4 measures together. So we're in half position for 2 notes, second position for 2 notes, first position for 2 notes, third position for 2 notes. So see, there's a little bit of a pattern, 2 notes for each position. So I'll call out what position we're in. Let's try it together. Fourth line, first 4 measures. 1, 2, half position, go. Second position. First, third. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, ready, play. All right, great work. That's kind of one of the tricky spots in the piece, so you're doing it awesome. The next 3 measures, we have F, D, G, B, and C. So for that F, it says first finger, and our F natural is right between the first and second tape, right? So we're going to be in second position for that. So first finger on the F, and then to play a D on the G string, we've got to go to third position. So let's practice that a couple times, just going from F between the first 2 tapes on the D string, first finger, and then D, fourth tape on the G string. 3 more times, just going back and forth between those 2 notes. Ready, play. 1, 2, F to D. Last time, F to D. Good. So just make sure that's kind of a little bit of a tricky shift. Make sure you've got that. And then once we're up at that high D, it says to play G with first finger. So we're not going to play it open. We're going to stay in third position and, you guessed it, play it first finger with the third tape on the D string. So it'll be fourth finger, fourth tape on the G string for the D, and then first finger on the third tape for that G. So they're in position together. After that, it says to go to D with second finger. So right where our fourth finger was on that fourth tape, we're going to slide our hand up a half step and play that with second finger, and then E with fourth finger. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not right. Ignore that. I read that wrong. We're going to B and C. So back down to second position. Sorry, so we've played F natural, and I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 measures into the fourth line. So we went from F natural, first finger between the first 2 tapes, up to D, fourth finger, fourth tape on the G string, G, first finger, third tape on the D string, and then we go to second position. Sorry, I had misread that and thought it was D and E. Instead, it's B and C. So we'll come back down to second position. So second finger on the second tape, fourth finger on the third tape for B and C on the G string. So second position here, we're going to play F, third position for D and G, and then back to second position for B and C. Let's try those three measures together. This is measure 5, 6, and 7 of the fourth line. So there's our F to start with first finger. 1, 2, ready, play. Let's try that 2 more times. Ready, set, here we go. Last time. Ready, set, here we go. All right. Now, finally we get to go up into a higher position. We have an E natural, and our E natural, if you have tapes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your fifth tape up is going to be your E, and that's with second finger. The other way that you can find it, if you don't have tapes that high, or if you just want to double check, is you can play your open E. It's an octave higher. So you could play from D, and from D, if you have your first finger on D, your fourth finger on E, that's where it would be, right? But we're going to actually start with second finger on that E. So we're playing second finger on E, and then we're going to come back down to third position, D, C sharp, C sharp. A says fourth finger, so we can't come down here. Instead, we're going to go D string, fourth finger, and come back to D with fourth finger. So just one more time, we have that fifth position, E, come down to third position, D is 4, C sharp 2, A, 4 on the D string in third position, and back to D, 4. One last time, try it with me. The E, D, C sharp, A, D. This is from the last measure on the fourth line. Here's your E. 1, 2, those 5 notes. Good. The next 3 notes, we have C, B, G, next 4 notes. C, B, G, C. So we just played a lot of notes in third position, D, C sharp, A, D. Now we're playing that same pattern, but we're going to take it to second position, C, B, G, C. So it's C is 4, B is 2, G is 4 on the D string, and back to C, 4 on the G string. I think I said that wrong. Let me say it again. C is 4, B is 2 on the G string in second position. So that's third tape, second tape. We stay in position on the D string, play fourth finger for G, and that'll be on your third tape. And then you come back over to C, fourth finger. Okay, so it'll be like this. C, B, G, C. Try that with me. 1, 2, ready, play. C, B, G, C. Okay, now most of the rest of this is in first position until we get to the last 2 notes. So let's take a look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These last 5 measures, we have F, D, G, B, C, a really long whole note C, and then E, fourth finger for G, and we're going to land on fourth finger for C. So we're going to go for the last 2 notes, second position, fourth finger G, fourth finger C. Okay, in second position. Let's start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the end. Starts in first position. 1, 2, here we go. Here's our long whole note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second position, 4, 4. All right, so I'm going to play through the bottom line here, plus 1 measure from the fourth line. So we're going to start on that high E. Okay, you can play along with me or just kind of watch and I'll call out the positions. So we start in fifth position just for one note until we go into third. 1, 2, here we go. Third, C, A, D, C's in second. First position, E. Whole note here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Second, G, C. All right, so the last thing I'm gonna do is play through this whole thing. If you didn't get any of the sections, make sure to go back and kind of practice those, put them together. But this is just a recording of the whole thing if you want to practice playing along with it. And then you can always rewind and practice with it again. So hopefully this was helpful and you have a good practice session. Here we go. Here's the whole excerpt. 1, 2, ready, play. Up bow. Second line. Third position. Third line. Half position. Stay in half. Second. First. Third. Second. Third. Second. Ready, play. Whole note. So one last thing is you might have noticed I did this without vibrato. This is a good one to practice on your vibrato. You can practice going from note to note. So for example, the first measure, well, are open. So I might just go between an E and C, and then an F, C to F, F to A. So it's a great chance in this one that you could really go back and work on your vibrato with each of your fingers. If you're not there yet, totally fine. Then I would really work on making sure you feel comfortable on those positions. I did have a slight little mess up there at the end when I was going into fifth position. So let's just last time try the last line here. And we'll start from that high E. This is the last measure of the fourth line to the end. 1, 2, ready, play. All right, guys, happy practicing. Have a good weekend.